Hey everyone, Mike from Just Watch back with another Just Watch review. Today we are going to do our 1 week on the wrist review on the Hamilton Khaki automatic field watch. We're going to go over our likes and dislikes on the watch and also talk about just our overall impression. Before we do that though, let's do our wrist check for today. We are wearing the Untitled Ocean Rover. Let's see if we can get this in frame here. It's kind of weird when it's backwards. But there's a look at the Untitled Ocean Rover. Janalt actually contacted me through the YouTube channel and asked if I would be interested in reviewing the watch, and I was like, yeah, sure, why not? You know, it looks like a fantastic watch. I was actually on their website a couple of weeks prior to them contacting me, so it actually worked out pretty well, as it is a watch that has interested me for some time, and we'll be back with a review on this watch very soon, so do stay tuned for that. So anyways, let's get into our likes and dislikes on the Hamilton Khaki field watch. I'm not going to go into like all the specifications and the nitty-gritty on this review. If you want to see more information like that, please do go back about 2 episodes on our channel. We did do that review with the unboxing and just kind of the overview on this watch where we give you all of that info. So please do go back and check that out if you want that info. Let's start out with what we liked about the watch. The first thing that I liked about the watch is just the case, and especially the size of the case. So case, you have a really nicely finished, brushed throughout almost, with the exception of the bezel and the crown, which are polished. About 40 millimeter diameter. I found the overall dimensions to be really nice, like right in the sweet spot. I have a 7-inch wrist. I thought it looked great. Not too big, not too small, and just very comfortable to wear all day long. Throughout the week on the wrist, I did wear it on a NATO strap for the majority of the time. And with the weather here in New England over the last few weeks, it's been up around 90 or even higher every day, plus humid. I thought it was a great, very comfortable watch to wear on a day-to-day basis, even with the extreme heat. So great job by Hamilton as far as the case goes. I really did like the dimensions on it and the size, and also the way that they executed the finish throughout. I thought was very good. Second thing I liked about the watch is the accuracy. Very nice job from Hamilton with this Swiss automatic movement. Really beautiful movement. You can see it through the case back. It's actually a glass case back where you can see the movement. Nicely decorated. It's pretty minimal, almost in the utilitarian, very similar to, if you've seen photos of Rolex and Tudor movements, it's kind of in that same vein. Does have the Hamilton logo cut out on the counterbalance, which I thought was pretty cool. Best part about the movement is it does run to within about 2 seconds per day, so it's actually running within COSC specs every day. I did check it. My normal routine for wearing the watch is, wear it all day long. When you go to bed at nighttime, take the watch off, lay it flat on the night table, let it sit in the horizontal position overnight, which is kind of the optimal position for a watch to run. Get back 24 hours later and check it again. Like I said, over the course of a week, it did maintain a within 2 seconds per day accuracy on the fast side, to be more specific, which I was very appreciative of, and I thought was a very good job. Next thing I like about the watch is you are getting sapphire glass on the crystal. I think that is huge, especially for a watch that retails. Suggested retail on the watch is $750. I purchased it on Amazon for under $460, which I thought was a really strong buy, especially considering everything you're getting with the watch, sapphire glass included. The last thing that we talked about, or the last thing to talk about as far as the likes go, we already kind of hit on a little bit, and that's just the comfort of the watch to wear. Really nice balance on the wrist, and also just size. The watch never feels like it wants to rotate on you or any of that nonsense. So just real nice job with the watch overall as far as the dimensions, accuracy, finish, fit, sapphire glass, lots of things to like about the watch. Let's talk about what we did not like about the watch now, though. There are a few things. First is the dial. I found the dial to be overly busy, and personally, I'm just not a fan of Arabic numerals going around the watch at all 12-hour positions. I used to own, back in the day, actually my first high-end watch purchase back when I was working at a Rolex authorized dealer. We also sold Breitling, and my first high-end watch purchase was the Colt Super Ocean. It has that gorgeous blue dial. And that's actually what sucked me into the watch, was that blue dial. But long term, I couldn't keep the dial, or I couldn't keep the watch. I could never get to love that Arabic numerals going all the way around the watch. And there was a couple other things with the watch too that I didn't love, but that's for another day. So actually, I'm interested to know from you guys what you think about that. I prefer, Arabic numerals at 369, like the Rolex Explorer dial. I think it's awesome. Everything else with index markers. And actually, my favorite Rolex Submariner dial is, like the one that just auctioned off for over $1 million, is the Explorer variation, the Explorer dial variation, I should say. And also Rolex Explorer, I love, the 39, the 36, even the Oyster Perpetual with the 369. Yes, please, on all of those. I love it. I just don't like it at all 12 positions. I prefer a combination of index markers and Arabic numerals. The other thing within the dial that I did not like is the it's not a sub-dial, it's another ring within the dial, is a 24-hour ring. To me, it just makes the dial a little bit on the busy side, and it's not necessary. I think anybody that can read 24-hour time can make that conversion fast enough that they're going to be able to do that, and it's not really a problem. I'd like to see this watch actually sold without that inner 24-hour ring. I don't want to call it a sub-dial because it's not really a sub-dial. The other thing I didn't like about the watch is the crown. It is a non-screw-down crown, which I didn't understand. I mean, I guess they had to cut money or cut costs to offer the watch at the price point that it's at, which is very strong. But to me, give us a screw-down crown on this watch. At $750 US retail, seems like they could have done that. And just the extra security that you get with that screw-down crown, to me, is worth the little bit of extra expense. Other thing too, the handset, I thought, is a little bit too fine for a field watch. If I was looking at an overlay, or if I was looking as a graphic design, the overall dial and handset, I'd probably say increase the width on the hour and minute hand by 10%. Just make them a little bit bigger, give them a little bit more meat, make it a little bit easier to read. I'd also increase the length of that hour hand just a little bit. Minute hand length was very good. It reached well into the minute track, which is what we want. And the second hand I thought was perfect. It's really long, reaches well into the minute track, and it's very easy to read, and also very unique, kind of like looks like an arrowhead type at the very end there. So I did like the handset as far as the second hand goes. I just thought that the hour and minute hand size should be increased to make it a little bit more readable at a glance, which I think is important for this type of watch, like a field watch type of thing. Speaking of the handset, and also the dial, the lume on this watch is on the weak side. Definitely doesn't have the power that you get from what's coming from Seiko's newest offerings, and also some of the European or Swiss watches like your actually this watch has very strong lume, the Ginault. Also Rolex Chromalite, the Super Luminova that's being offered by Tudor, and lots of other brands. This watch, you wear it outside, you get it exposed to lots of UV. You go into a room where it's shady. It's not jumping off the dial at you, and it's not lasting all night long like you get from Seiko or any of those previously mentioned brands. So to me, they need to give us just a little bit more juice on their luminous material, and I think it would be a much better product overall. Last thing I did not like about the watch, and to me this is another one where it's kind of like the screw-down crown, it's kind of making me shake my head, is that it did not have drilled out lug holes. To me, that is another egregious error from Hamilton. A field watch like this, a watch like of this style, to me is a total strap monster. You want to be able to change it up on the fly, or as your whim suits you or as your dress suits you. And I think this watch would actually look great with a variety of different leather and crocodile straps. So I don't understand why Hamilton did not give us drilled out lug holes on the watch. If I was redesigning this watch, I would just make a couple of changes. I think it would really be a knockout. So the first thing I would do is go to a 369 or even a 12369 Arabics Explorer type dial. Just clean up and simplify the dial. I'd get rid of the 24-hour track within the middle. I would increase the size of the handset. I thought the handset design overall was very good, just needed to be made a little bit bigger. I would increase the lume. I'd add lug holes, and I would put it on the market for, and also the screw-down crown. Of course, I'd add a screw-down crown, put it on the market for, $1,000 retail. I think Hamilton would sell a ton of them. As the watch stands now, $750 suggested retail. I think you can grab one of these at $550 or less if you're in the US, or a market where you can purchase on Amazon. Like I said, it's right now $460 US retail. I think at $460, even with these things that I pointed out, some of them are just my personal preference, I think it's still a really strong buy considering what you're getting. Getting Swiss movement, Swiss accuracy, sapphire, really nice strong case as far as the overall dimensions and size. You know, you really no complaints about the case at all, and you know, just get a great proven brand name. So anyways, that is it for the watch. I would recommend it. You know, I think that some of the things that I didn't like are my personal preference, my personal opinion, but that's what we're here for with the channel, is to give you my opinion on watches, and there you have it. So Hamilton, if you're watching, consider those changes, please. I think you'll have a home run. Everybody else, let me know what you think, actually. I'm curious to see what everybody thinks about Arabic numerals at all 12-hour positions going around the watch. Do you guys like them, dislike them? Are you guys in agreement with me as far as that goes? Do you prefer, you know, just at the 12, 369, or even at the 369 as the Explorer dial is? I'm interested to see what you guys all have to say about that. So everybody, thank you for watching this episode of Just Watch. I definitely appreciate everybody's likes and comments and subscriptions over the last few months since we got started. The channel is growing tremendously, and I'm super happy about that. So if this is your first time visiting, please do consider hitting that like button below and hitting that subscription button below so you always get onto our content as it is released. All right, everybody, thank you for watching this episode. I do appreciate you watching, and we will be back soon with another review.